My name's Pippa. I'm the concert assistant with Britain's Sinfonia. It is quite a varied job because every project is very different. We vary from performing with 5 musicians to 35, sometimes even more than that. I know I'm only getting used to the organisational side of things because I was trained as a violinist, so it's a real eye-opener as to how much there is behind the scenes with every concert. I first got interested in music because my parents are very keen amateur musicians, and so they used to take me along to concerts, and I think I started nagging my parents to start playing the violin when I was about 6, and I don't think they could quite face the trauma of a beginner violinist because it's quite painful. So they put me on piano, which I hated when I was about 6. I really wanted to play the violin. I nagged them, and I think they could see that I was so stubborn that I got my own way. So when I was 8, I started the violin, and it was very much my choice, which really had an impact on my enjoyment. I guess music was a very big part of my school life. I was in a very small primary school, so I was very lucky. It was a very sheltered primary school, and there weren't many who played music, and I loved it. So they were very encouraging. They made me play on my own in assembly, which for some reason I enjoyed doing. Probably because they made me do it so much that I got over the fear of playing. All through primary school and secondary school, I had very, very supportive parents, very sheltered upbringing. My dad was a doctor. He was very, very studious, very hard working. So I had that kind of inspiration while I was growing up. And then he became ill when I was about 11. So I got very angry and I was in a very, very, very pressurised school where 50% went to Oxbridge. And then as he got more ill, I got angrier with how, I guess, sheltered everybody else was. And so music was the one thing I could kind of bluff my way through, I guess. I think music gave me the emotional support, and that obviously my family were grieving, so I got that from friends. Because we were just 10 in a department in my year, so we really knew each other inside out, and that's where I think the kind of focus on the music came from. I got very angry with the pressure put on us so young, and I kind of kicked against that and thought, no, I don't want to be a part of academia, I don't want to go to Oxbridge, I don't want to do that. Which I realise now I was very spoilt being in that school. A lot of people would kill to be in that kind of environment, but I kicked against it. And then I went to music college, and I think the main problem with music college, with anything that's so focused, is if you didn't make it as a musician, you failed. And I had 4 years of that. I did 4 years at music college, got my undergrad, got my Bachelor of Music. And then I found a teacher in Italy and studied privately, which was the real test. I was working in a pub to make ends meet, getting home about 3-4 in the morning, and then trying to find the motivation to practice, which is probably where it all dwindled. And I just realised there was more to life than being a musician. And I think having that step back from the high pressure, you have to be a musician or you're a failure, put that in perspective. Still a part of me, because I did 15 years intensive playing the violin, a part of me is still, maybe I've made a mistake. But I think the most important thing is that I made the decision at 24, 25. I had to start again technically with my new teacher to go back to studying, and I felt it was too late, which I'm now realising now is not true. I know people who are in their early 30s have gone back to music college to do an undergrad. So it's never too late, but I don't know. I'm enjoying this for now. I've decided to not be too deciding what I want to do in the future, because you never know how life changes and your priorities change.